judge talk to you anymore about it? Okay. And then there is an event I texted or emailed. It was about that career development thing.
Yeah, I'll go to that.
Now we got all the tickets are going. We only had a table of 6. If you want me to order you 1 or 2 more,
one. Lease
okay.
goes with me. But
Okay.
yeah, because I enjoy going to that.
That's correct. Well, any of that is not why we redone it. We said, look, we reversed because of these findings, not conditions. That we had conditions.
What did you do to me, Jim?
See, there's a camera right up there. Those on the wall.
Jason, can you get everybody in, or do they need schools? Okay, no, you all are fine.
Charlie ready? Charlie, you ready? Here, Jenny, you want that? Are you ready?
Are you ready, George? You got the prayer.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, welcome everyone to our December 17th, 2015 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. George, we went back from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and we have filled the courtroom. Amazing.
It's amazing.
So, Commissioner Wathen, would you lead us in a prayer and a pledge?
Yes, please pray with me. Dear God, our Father, thank you for all of the gifts that you have bestowed on this community. Thank you for our military, our police, and our firemen. May we never take them for granted. Thank you for our dedicated county employees who strive to make our life better. May we always remember that we have this Christmas season, and most importantly, we thank you for sending us your only Son. Please allow these young adults that you have sent us to always stay close to you. And last but not least, please direct the members of this court to always make decisions that follow your will. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner, thank you. Once again, I want to welcome everyone to our December 17, 2015 Fiscal Court meeting.
I might remind the folks up here that it was about this time a year ago, and I hope Commissioner Lambert is watching, when Commissioner Lambert participated in his last meeting, and we attempted to name Little Hurricane Boat Ramp Commissioner James Lambert Boat Ramp and Dog Park, and he objected, and we didn't get to do that. Doggone it. You know he's not here tonight. Okay, no. Well, let me say that I'm very pleased tonight to introduce the Daviess County High School Chorus. I first heard these young folks, or some of these young folks, at a Veterans Day performance out at Daviess County High School. They sent goosebumps crawling down my skin. That's how good these young folks are. Look at them now, they're starting to sweat. So I had Jenny contact the school system, and Candy Miller is the director. So she has brought them here to sing the Star-Spangled Banner for us, and then a couple of Christmas carols. And Miss Miller, if you would go to that mic, and you can kind of explain what's going on and bring the young ladies and gentlemen up, okay? Yeah, we'll be okay.
Would you stand as we sing the national anthem? Thank you for having us tonight. We're just going to sing a couple of Christmas tunes, and hopefully just, maybe you can go out of here with a little Christmas spirit and get revved up for the holidays. First one is called Deck the Hall. Christmas season, or any Christmas season, without hearing Carol of the Bells. So here's our version.
Ms. Miller, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time out of your day. I'm sure that you all had dates or games or places to go tonight, but we really appreciate you coming in and sharing this Christmas cheer with us. We would invite you back anytime that you wish to bring them back, because I think it raised the spirits of three grumpy old men that are sitting up here with me. I know that you don't need to stay, but as you leave, if you would, pass by that mic, and I would like for each one of you to let us know who you are, okay? So, and you start. Who are you again?
My name is Candy Miller, and I'm the choir director at Daviess County High School.
All right.
My name's Hannah Farmer, and I'm a senior.
I'm Megan Crawford, and I'm a junior.
My name's Abigail Chappell. I'm a senior.
My name's Matthew Millay, and I'm a senior.
My name's Anthony Harris, and I'm a senior.
Anthony, were you that deep voice? Okay, you too.
I'm Christian Velez. I'm a junior.
I'm Trevor Dale. I'm a junior.
I'm Lauren Cross. I'm a senior.
I'm Haley Payne. I'm a junior.
And I'm Sydney Edmonds, and I'm a senior.
I don't know what you call you, but you're alto. You're way up there, right?
I'm a soprano.
Soprano? I said I didn't know what you call it, but I just know that I could hear you every time. Well, once again, thank you for being here. Merry Christmas to you. After Dean does his thing, then I want to come down and bring up the contract. And Charlie will do a motion to amend the agenda and move it up under there.
Well, it's under other business anyway.
Okay, so we don't really need to do that. And then John is going to ask permission to do something else, so we'll let him do it. Okay? All right. I don't know about you, but that put me in the Christmas spirit. That's why I've been eating candy and cake and stuff in the back of the kitchen all day long. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Item 1, consideration for presentation, A Proclamation National Volunteer Blood Donor Month, January 2016.
Whereas donating 1 unit of blood helps to save as many as 3 lives, and whereas blood donors are an integral part of our local health system and serve to protect the health and emergency preparedness of all, and whereas to maintain a safe and adequate blood supply in Daviess County, nearly 1,000 blood components are needed each month. Whereas on behalf of the citizens of Daviess County, I recognize and salute Western Kentucky Regional Blood Center for ensuring a safe and adequate blood supply, including the ability to solely deliver life-saving blood and blood products to local health providers and patients. Now therefore I, Daviess County Judge Executive Al Mattingly, do hereby proclaim January 2016 as National Volunteer Blood Donor Month and urge all eligible citizens to regularly visit the Kentucky Regional Blood Center and donate blood. Is there someone here to accept this or, okay. Before I got ready to do this, I read to make sure your last name wasn't Mrs. Dracula.
Oh,
If you want to say a few words, you're welcome to.
Yes, it's kind of interesting to sit here and recognize several people here that are our blood donors. It's a shirt on, there you go. But January is very important to the Blood Center because it's a time for us to recognize probably the most valuable resource we can get from our community is our blood donors, because without that, no emergency services would ever be good enough, because it's kind of pointless to save someone who needs a few units of blood and it's not be there. And the fact that our hospital depends on our blood donors to be there, to come donate, whether they know someone who needs it or not, that's a very selfless act that they come in to save someone who they don't even know and will never meet. And our blood center has been in business since 1978. We have supplied this area in Western Kentucky, but we started right here in Owensboro with the blood it's needed since 1978, and it's all because of people that are sitting here. So I just want to thank you all for inviting us. Appreciate our donors, and everyone here has the potential one day to help save someone's life. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item, Jenny.
B, Owensboro ticketing system update by Dean Dennis, and Judge, once he's finished, we will consider for approval the MOU regarding OwensboroTickets.com.
Okay, fine. Commissioners, just as a way of a little background, as you recall, this was the first grant of money that we gave from our silo busting fund. We had many partners in this community come together, send in letters of support. I hope Mr. Dennis is going to tell me that the system is in place, it's working, and everybody is 100% happy. And if you tell me that, I'll know that you're not telling me the truth, because we know we can't please them all.
That's right. It's working perfect. And,
good.
Thank
So I'm going to turn it. Yeah, come on back. I'm going to turn it over to Dean Dennis, who is the manager of the Owensboro-Daviess County Convention Center.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, Court and Commissioners, for the opportunity to bring an update forward of where we have been since our first launch of this system on August 3rd. So we're right at about the 4-month period of having this in place and having it operational. Let me introduce some members of our team. Brooks Lohr is our actual ticketing supervisor, the person day-to-day that builds the events and puts the events on sale for us. His direct supervisor is James Wade, who's our director of operations. And of course, everybody knows Roxy. She's not on our staff, but she seems like it for the 2 weeks that she spent training for this ticketing system. And so Roxy has a few comments for us as well on how it's worked for the River Park Center, which was really the impetus of where we headed with this system to begin with, was their need for a better ticketing system for the River Park Center. We clearly needed one for the convention center, and we felt a need for a regional basis to have a better ticketing system. So since the launch on August 3rd, and again, I'm sorry the audience cannot benefit from seeing these slides and these numbers, but you have the copy in front of you there. But we really kicked it off with a launch. We spent $7,500 to launch Owensboro Tickets through a mass media scheduled on various radio stations, all the TV stations, online ads, and of course a lot of social media through River Park Center and the Convention Center. Lots of different media pieces that we had a complete takeover of Hot 96 website and social media on 8/10 for the entire day, where we had online banner ads and streaming commercials. We secured nearly $2,000 worth of promotional value with Hot 96 and giving away an ultimate Owensboro fan giveaway. We gave away a lot of different tickets to various events. We had the Owensboro.tickets.com logo on the back of Coca-Cola trucks for several months, or a few months. Had some pole banners. They're still on display on downtown after the Friday After 5 season ended. And of course, as I say, when we talked early on, Commissioners, about having some skin in the game, we've got about $7,500 that we know of just in terms of our value in launching that. We had about 2 full weeks of training where Roxy and her team came with Brooks and James, and really it was a very intense, because it's a very robust ticketing system. It does an awful lot, and part of what we're learning is what we're not doing and taking advantage of at this point. Building the venue seating charts and doing all those things. We received a lot of IT support from her IT person as well as from the city of Owensboro's IT in order to get that operational. We featured, of course, the Owensboro Convention Center events and the River Park Center, the entire Broadway series that is on the system, and a variety of their events, including Rudolph, which was held just on Tuesday night, is one of the events that were held on there. We also were able to use, for the Owensboro Museum of Fine Art, we had the Buffalo Gala on there. We had the Casa Rock the House event. BAM Theatricals had their events on there. We have the Kentucky Sportsman Show, sponsored by Steve Jones. That's on sale now. Country Con from WBKR was on there. The Empowerment Academy that just had their luncheon here before Thanksgiving, they were able to put their events on sale there. The Owensboro Symphony Orchestra and the Owensboro Dance Theater. We of course had a sold out concert with Casting Crowns. We sold over 3,000 tickets on the system, 3,065 to be exact. Brooks, right? Which was a sold out concert for the system. So obviously we had a big on sale. We had almost 600 tickets on the on sale, so it was able to handle the capacity and do what we felt like it could do. But the real interesting, the next slide is by the numbers. We've done over 70 shows and events on the system since August 3rd, which is really a lot when you think of it's only 4 months. 6,223 tickets are sold. And by the way, Don Wilkins, I saw you. I'll make sure you have a copy of this, okay? So you don't have to guess with those numbers. 5,777 tickets were processed at the Owensboro Convention Center box office, and 15,507 tickets were processed at the River Center box office. Total gross sales of almost $600,000 have run through the system since we put it up and got it on sale. The other interesting note I want for the commissioners and, of course, the community to know is that purchases have been made from 40 different states and Canada. The Canada one's very interesting in that we do this event called Cork and Cuisine, and this gentleman lives in Canada. His parents live here in Daviess County, and he bought the tickets, and they were emailed to them, and they came to the event. And he actually bought the tickets in Canada for his mom and dad for their anniversary present. So it was another cool way in which you are able to be online, have an online presence in places that you aren't even aware of. Overall positive response from it. It's a new system. There's a learning curve. People are getting used to buying electronic tickets, and that's a step, especially for nonprofits and not-for-profits. But one of the comments, and I'm going to have Roxy speak to this in a moment when I introduce her, is talking about how sales have increased for some of these organizations because they have an online ticketing presence where they've not had one before. And so I think that's very important. And the little easy button is the fact that, hey, we're really just trying to make this easy, trying to make it easy for people to buy tickets. And that's really what it's all about. Obviously, next steps are to continue. We're adding the pack mail feature, which is an email database marketing system that we don't have that feature completely working yet. Insertion and integration on various links and calendars. I put a copy of the Visit Owensboro site, and I just had another meeting yesterday with those folks in terms of how we make sure that Rudolph is on the Visit Owensboro site and vice versa. I think we can do a little better in getting that integrated. Next steps on OwensboroTickets.com is obviously adding venues and events. I've had discussions with Chris Joslin. Of course, he's brand new at the Bluegrass Center. He's just not quite ready to jump into it yet, as he's still getting his feet on the ground. Started here in September. So, but certainly that's an option. We've met with KWC, and again, we're just a little behind to get it online for this year and for their season tickets for their basketball season this season. But certainly they are very interested in it, and we plan to move forward with that. So continue to add venues and events and additional nonprofits. With that, I'm going to have Roxy come up and give you some of the comments that she's heard and some of the things that she can say about the system.
Yeah, again, we appreciate the opportunity to have access to this system because it is the most robust and it's got the most wheels and whistles, bells and whistles of any system that we've used. We're still probably just walking We're maybe beyond the toddler stage. We've certainly gotten beyond the crawling stage, but we're certainly not even at a brisk walk yet or close to running with all of the things that the system will allow us to do. That's probably the thing that surprised all of us the most, was kind of how complex it is, and because it can do so many things, you got to know a lot about it. It's pretty intricate on the back end. So we're still learning. But we're really excited with the opportunities. And I will tell you, Judge, you mentioned the Owensboro Symphony last Sunday, and Dan Griffith and I were talking just last week before I knew I was going to do this, and he said, you know, I've been looking at those reports, and he gets a report every day that says exactly how many tickets have been sold. He knows every day exactly how many tickets, and he also knows exactly how many tickets have been sold online. And he says, you know, that's showing me, I mean, we're selling quite a few tickets online. I mean, they sold probably 150 tickets over the internet. Well, for the symphony, I mean, that was startling to him. He was surprised that his patrons would go to the internet and buy the tickets there. So they are, and we're all learning how to use that, and we've been very, very pleased, and the partnership is working. Back Alley Musicals was a new tenant of ours last year in our building, and they didn't use our ticketing system last year. They are this year, and that's working very, very well. So we thank you for your...
You know, just to comment about Dan Griffith, his comment just proves that not all of his patrons are old like him and me, that there are some young people that understand how to go on the internet and buy.
I wasn't going to mention that, Judge, but you're right.
I was just looking into your eyes. Thank you for that report. I would tell you that in the short 4.5 months that you've been in existence, I've had a couple people call. They either had a misunderstanding of how it would work or didn't have any understanding of how it worked. I've talked to Dean in the past or about it. Things got worked out. So I'm pretty pleased at the way this thing is. And as you said, we learned how to crawl. Now we're toddling. I would say toddling. I really look forward to the day when we have more partners using the system, more not-for-profits using the system, and I'll speak to that here in a little bit when we get into the contract. Yeah. But yes, sir.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I think the education of the system is something we really wanted to make sure we understood it fully before we went out and could say what we could and couldn't do.
Before we move on, Commissioners, any question or comment from?
I was just going to say, you might want to mention where the money came from for the project.
And well, that was a $50,000, and I thought I had it. You know, we put $50,000 into bust silos, and that money came out of House Bill 202. I mean, that's where the money came from. So the money came from the hotel motel tax. It didn't come out of the pockets of Daviess County taxpayers. It came out of the pockets of those folks who are attending events at the convention center, at the symphony, at the River Park Center, and are staying in our hotels. So that was pretty cool that we were able to enhance what we offer here in this community at no cost to the local taxpayer. Yes, sir.
Have any of the high schools expressed any interest in the possibility of using this, or
not really approached them yet, Commissioner?
Okay.
That's on the horizon, but again, that's part of the toddling. But
you know,
I think there is an opportunity for them.
For example, the regional is always played here at the Sports Center, and you have those people coming from all around the region. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, that's a good one. Yep. That's a good one. That's more Sports Center in their relationship to Region 3 and the tournament. And
anything else?
I just want to make a comment. Excuse me. Dean, y'all have done a great job. We did ask for I believe, a 6-month report in the beginning, just to see how things were going. Now with a 4-month, very positive, and we're glad that you're here tonight to share that with us, because anytime you make an investment, you always want to watch it grow.
Thank you. Yes, and same way. I mean, we've got quite a bit of skin in the game too, and with training and Brooks, and so we were anxious to see how it's going to work, and so far so good. And we're putting Jason's event hopefully on it as well. So Jason Koger Foundation, we're going to put that event, his helping hand event, helping.
Any other comment? No. Commissioner, while Dean is here and available for question, we have under other business, we have a memorandum of agreement between Daviess County Fiscal Court, River Park Center, and Owensboro Convention Center for an amount of $40,000. Would I have a motion to approve this memorandum of agreement?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, we talked about this back when we first approached this, that we needed to reduce to writing some basic things. Claude, you have looked at this memorandum and you're okay. Dean, you and your folks have looked at it, you're okay. Basically, under the section 2, it talks about first of all, the duration is from January 1, 2016 to December 31st, 2020. And under section 2, it talks about the purpose and intent of the agreement is to help defray the cost to operate an electronic ticketing system. Fiscal Court agrees to provide $40,000 to the River Park Center to offset the initial capital cost, and it's through the River Park Center to you guys, and it's to offset the cost, capital cost of electronic ticketing system, and it includes software, equipment, licensing, training. As a material consideration of the $40,000 grant, the Convention Center and River Park Center agree to donate 25% of the available advertising space to Daviess County not-for-profit organizations. These are folks who could go on, advertise their events at no cost. And then annually during the term, you will come in and give us an update and hopefully tell us how you doubled, tripled, quadrupled, quintupled, and all the other good words. So, Commissioners, do I have any question or comment about the agreement? Deputy, there's some folks there. Okay, there they go. Do I have any comment or question about the agreement?
I'll just make a note. It's interesting that we're making an agreement till 2020.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary, isn't it? 2020.
I started to say, I'm able to see that far ahead, aren't you? Okay. Any question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Motion carries. Dean, thank you. Roxy, thank you. Pacquion? Is that where they're from?
Well, they're with Convention Center.
Okay, with the Convention Center, thank you guys for being here. Don't feel like you've got to hang around because the rest of the meeting is going to be pretty dull unless somebody jumps up and throws something at us.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
see
again
ya.
for the support, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Sure.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
to you.
CEMA Deputy Director John Clouse to present Community Storm Ready Reaccreditation Certificate.
Mr. Clouse.
Judge Mattingly, Commissioners, thank you for having me tonight. It is my privilege to present to you on behalf of our friends at the National Weather Service office in Paducah a certificate of accreditation declaring Daviess County, Kentucky as a storm-ready community. And this is kind of special. This is our 15th accreditation. This was started by our predecessors, Walter Atherton and Richard Payne, back in 2000. Daviess County has always been a leader, and I just wanted to highlight that not only were we the first county in the state of Kentucky to be recognized as a storm-ready county back in 2000, we are still only one of 42 counties of the 120 in Kentucky. We are one of 1,138 counties nationwide that are recognized that way. But we were also the first county in the Midwest, so that's everything that Paducah covers and a few other places in between, to be recognized as a storm-ready community. And we've maintained that preparedness over the last 15 years. That helps our citizens sometimes in getting lower insurance rates for various things. I know it helps us with our National Flood Insurance Program. So we're very happy that we have been reaccredited, and wanted to present that certificate to you this night. Just a little bit of background for those that didn't read the newspaper this morning. The Storm Ready program is a nationwide community preparedness program sponsored by the National Weather Service, and they want to help communities develop a very proactive approach to providing local hazardous weather operations. We do that through our 24-hour warning point that we have here in the courthouse and the Emergency Operations Center, both upstairs and downstairs. We have several ways of reaching our community with severe weather warnings and forecast. We have created a system that monitors weather conditions locally. That would be our storm weather spotters that we train annually with the National Weather Service. And we do public service announcements throughout various means of media. And we've got a formalized hazardous weather plan, which is a part of the county emergency operations plan. So all those are core requirements of a storm-ready community. We've been able to establish and maintain those over the last 15 years. And Paducah wanted to make sure that we had a certificate to hang in the hall that said that we did that. So let me present that to you.
Okay.
Folks.
Thank you.
Well, John, if you would let the staff and all those folks involved in this know how appreciative we are of all the hard work to become reaccredited. I know it takes some time, some effort on a lot of people, not just one or two.
Yes, it does. Judge, if I might, I'd like to recognize some folks that did some community service for the Search and Rescue team today. Miss Courtney Bray and Miss Taylor Alme, they are seniors at Apollo High School in the Graphic Arts Department. Under the direction of Mr. Steve May, their graphic arts instructor there, they built and installed vinyl decals representing the Search and Rescue logo on our dedicated vehicle, which we house out at the Yellow Ambulance Corral. And I wanted to publicly acknowledge their community support and spirit. These young ladies did this as a part of their senior portfolios. They'll be matriculating, I think one to Murray and the other one, I don't remember exactly where to, but they're going to pursue graphic arts. So this will help them along the way, but they wanted to give something back to the community in the process. And that's what it looks like. We'll be driving the vehicle around to display their handiwork here pretty soon. But I just wanted to publicly acknowledge what they had done as a part of their high school training.
Okay, and if you would pass on the thanks of Daviess County Fiscal Court and all the citizens in the county.
I will certainly do that, sir. Thank you.
Anything else?
Further questions?
Commissioners?
No, thank you, John.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And again, you don't need to stay either. You're welcome to go.
D, treasurer's.
No, what timeout? The answer is no. You've got to stay.
Treasurer's report for the month ended November 2015.
Mr. Hendricks?
Cash balance at November 30th is $23,705,145. Of that, the general fund is $8,123,364. We talked a little bit about the report last time. All the funds are within our acceptable range, and everything is performing as we would have anticipated in our budget process. I have no further comments.
Question or comment by the commission? Anyone in the public have a question or a comment? There being, we don't need to do anything with that. Thank you, Ms. Hendricks. Next item.
Item 2, consideration for approval, A, minutes of the December 1st, 2015 court meeting.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, you've had a copy of the minutes in your packet for some time. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Again, Commissioners, you've had a copy of all the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court in your possession for some time. Do you have any questions of the treasurer? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
C, Daviess County Clerk's claim for preparing 2015 tax bills.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I don't see anybody from Oz's office out there, Jim. Does that mean he doesn't want the money?
No, it doesn't mean that.
Okay, would you explain it to us?
This is a bill that the court receives annually as part of the funding mechanism for the clerk's office. I've reviewed it. It looks in order in comparison to last year. I would recommend approval.
Any question or comment by the commission? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
D, lease agreement with the Daviess County Board of Education for the 2016 recreation program.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Ross, do you want to talk to us about this?
Yes, sir. This is our 2016 agreement for the use of 9 properties currently owned by the Daviess County Board of Education. A couple of 3 different programs are utilized. We do baseball, softball, and as well football on these properties. The term of the lease begins January 1st through December 31st of 2016. In the end of your packet are several additional items that highlights different policies that we enact regarding lighting, lightning, thunder, heat, and as well as background check disqualifiers for the safety of our players. I would recommend approval.
Standard agreement that we've been signing for since we've been here. Any question or comment, commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thanks, Ross.
E, award the following bids. 50 2015 2 chassis mount animal transport units for the animal control. 51 2015 County Clerk's Office Renovation Furniture. 5215 County Clerk's Office Renovation Electronic Querying System. 53 2015 County Clerk's Office Renovation Door Access Control System. 54 2015 4 new self-contained breathing apparatus for fire and rescue. 1 2016 engine oils and lubricants. 2 16 bituminous hot mix and pavement milling, and 3 2016 mowing of county right-of-ways.
Move to approve. Are we going to approve these all together?
We're going to talk about each one of them, but we'll approve them in mass, and then if we want to take one out, we can take one out.
All right, I move to approve them.
Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Johnson, would you walk us through each one of these? And what we'll do is, as you describe each one, we'll stop a minute, discuss it. If there's any objection, we can amend the motion and take it out.
Certainly, Judge. Starting with bid number 50-2015 for 2 chassis mount animal transport units. These are for 2 animal transport units that will replace the beds of 2 new vehicles for animal control. The fiscal court received 6 bids. The bid of Bowie International is the best evaluated bid, having only minor exceptions to the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 50-2015 to Bowie International for the C100 fiberglass one-piece units in the amount of $23,590. It should be noted that the low bid was not recommended due to the susceptibility of corrosion resulting from animal transport.
Okay. Commissioners, any question or comment? You might tell them a little of the research you did. There was some concern about fiberglass versus stainless steel. You're correct, or not stainless, but aluminum. Animal urine will corrode and erode aluminum. There was some concern about cracking of fiberglass, but you did some research, particularly with people who use these things in Florida, and what was the result of your research?
Yes, Judge. The lowest bid was a fully aluminum frame. There was no coating whatsoever. Usually aluminum frames come with a thermoset plastic coating to keep the urine and fecal matter from corroding the aluminum. This one did not. The next highest bid was a fiberglass one-piece. Our chief reservation on that was that extreme heat and sun would bake and crack. I contacted the Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control out of Florida, spoke with Captain Dave Waleski, contacted the Polk County Sheriff's Office, spoke with Deanne, their fleet specialist, and I contacted the Loxley Roden Fleet Services, Broward County Animal Control Offices, all of which gave this unit high praises. They said it operated fine in extreme temperatures. They are all located outside. They are not housed inside. They have no problems patching the fiberglass when any cracking does happen, and they have all operated in excess of 12 years.
Commissioners, any question about that item? Any question of the public about that item? Next item, Jordan.
Moving on to bid number 51-2015 for the Clerk's Office Renovation Furniture Piece. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 1 bid. The bid of Petter Business Systems is the only bid submitted, having no exceptions to the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 51-2015 to Petter Business Systems in the amount of $6,505.43. It should be noted that every unit price that you see here for the pneumatic task tools, mesh mid-backs, and L workstation desk are all governed by the state master agreement that HON holds with the state of Kentucky. and the price for the delivery and installation of all these items is governed by that master agreement as well.
Okay. Commissioners, any question or comment? Mr. Treasurer, this is, I'll go to you or Jordan. We bid the renovation under one contract. Now we're looking at buying the furniture individually and separately.
That's correct, because the construction work had nothing to do with the furniture, so we do it in pieces.
Okay. If there's no issue with that item, next one, Jordan.
Yes, Judge, the next item, bid number 52, 2015, Clerk's Office renovation piece, following suit of the last, the electronic queuing system. The Fiscal Court received one bid. The bid of Business Communication Solution is the only bid submitted. They submitted a Lavi Industries Q-Track call forward system for the Clerk's Office queuing system. It has no exceptions to our bid documentation. I recommend award to Business Communication Solutions in the amount of $8,321.23.
Tell me what a queuing system does.
There will be a line, much like you'll see it in an amusement park, where you will funnel through, and at the front of the line there will be a large screen. Whenever a clerk becomes available, they will hit a button on a wireless remote. It will take the number of their station and display it on that screen for the next person to locate that station and move forward.
Just helps move traffic quicker through the system. Any question or comment, commissioners? Question or comment by the public? Next item, Jordan.
Next item, bid number 53, 2015, Clerk's Office renovation door access control system. The Fiscal Court received one bid from Business Communication Solutions for an IntelliM Access 5200C series. It is the only bid submitted, having minor exceptions to the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award this unit in the amount of $9,236.80.
Question or comment by the commission? Public have any questions? Jordan, those three bids, how did they compare with our anticipated costs? Did they come in right at
All
bid
three
or
came
under?
in at or below what we had estimated.
Okay. Next item.
Bid number 54, 2015 for 4 new self-contained breathing apparatuses for fire rescue. The Fiscal Court received one bid. The bid of Fire Department Service and Supply was the only bid submitted. It has no exceptions to our bid documentation. We recommend award for these units in the amount of $24,500.
We had that in our budget as well. Did that come in pretty close to budget, Chief?
Budgeted $24,000.
Okay, so it's pretty close. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I just want to ask Jordan, have you ever bought anything for the fire department that wasn't called an apparatus?
No, sir.
Any other questions?
Just wondering.
Any question by the public? Next item, Jordan.
Moving on to bid number 1, 2016. This is the first occurrence of our annual bids that pivot on the calendar year for engine oils and lubricants. Fiscal Court received 4 bids. Bustler Enterprises is the lowest and best evaluated bid per historical county usage, having no exceptions to our bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 1, 2016 to Bustler Enterprises for the listed unit rates, and it should be noted that the major cost drivers for the county are the bulk per gallon engine oil, hydraulic 46, and Unitrack lubricants, all of which were an average 18% decrease from last year.
That's what I was going to ask. With a reduction in oil prices, we should have seen some reduction here. When you say that they were the lowest and best evaluated bid over the usage history, so what you did was you took our average usage historically, applied it to all the costs, totaled it up, and found who was the lowest bidder.
That is correct.
Okay. Who was our low bidder last year?
Home Oil and Gas Company served us last year.
But we have done business with Bustler in the past. Is that correct?
Yes.
Question or comment, Commission? Any questions from the public? There being none, next item.
Moving on to bid number 2, 2016 for bituminous hot mix and pavement milling. The Fiscal Court received 2 bids. The bid of Yeager Materials is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having no exceptions to our bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 2, 2016 to Yeager Materials for the listed unit rates, and it should be noted that Yeager Materials has a weighted average of a 9% decrease from last year to this year.
Okay, again, reflecting the decrease in cost of oil. One of the things I've often heard comments about why in the world don't we have somebody else besides Jaeger into this community, and the simple fact is they have a plant here, so the transportation of asphalt to where it's needed is cheap, relatively speaking, to somebody that has to bring it in from, say, Bowling Green or Evansville. Any question or comment, commissioners? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Moving on to bid number 3, 2016, mowing of county right-of-ways. Our right-of-ways are divided into 7 sections, which are denoted by the letters A through G. Our vendor who was providing the services for section E did not renew this year, so we bid that section in particular. The fiscal court received 3 bids. The bid of Ronnie Mayfield is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having no exceptions to our bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award section E of bid number 3, 2016 to Ronnie Mayfield for $3,466 per mowing and a $70 hourly rate for any additional mowing. The unit prices that you see below that are from the other 3 bidders who bid this back in 2013 and have renewed every year. We have found their service rates from 3/2013 to be acceptable for the upcoming calendar year, and it is our recommendation to renew sections A, B, C, D, F, and G of bid number 3, 2013 for an additional contractual period of 1 year at the listed unit rates.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this being mowed 3 or 4 times a year?
Yes, it's dictated by Road Supervisor Helen Isbell, who supervises this contract.
And is this also, what's this cover, about 75 miles or 100 miles, or how much does it cover?
Section E, all the sections vary. It'll vary anywhere from 60 to 90 miles. Section E is about 74.36.
Okay, thank you.
You have a comment, Mr. Engineer? Good. Any other question? Question or comment by the public? There being none, do we have any more items? Commissioners, you've heard an explanation of the bids, how they were evaluated, and their cost. Are you all okay with the original motion to approve?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Hearing no other comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Jordan.
F, surety bond releases. SS Filters and TJB Investments, LLC for Honeysuckle Lane hydrant and water mains. Deer Valley Section 2, Unit 2 for concrete sidewalks.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, there's a letter in here that talks, our county engineer, I don't want to take your time away. You go ahead and explain it.
Okay, Judge. The hydrant and water mains, they were reviewed by the fire department and water company and approved by those agencies. So I recommend approval on the initial S&S filters and TJB investments. Deer Valley Section 2 Unit 2 concrete sidewalks was inspected by my office and found to meet our standards, and I recommend approval on that release also.
Question or comment, Commissioners? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
G, promote Candace Sturgeon to Assistant Park Director effective December 21, 2015.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Ross, did you leave? Do you want to go up there and talk to us about why we're doing this? I told you I'm not sure I've got the votes.
Judge, it's a honor tonight to be able to present to you Candace Sturgeon as a candidate for the position as Assistant Director of Parks. Ms. Sturgeon has been in the Parks and Recreation profession for 15 years, spending time both with the Owensboro City Parks as well as the Daviess County Parks over the last 7 years as our administrative assistant. It was in the meeting December 1st that you approved and accepted the retirement of our existing Assistant Park Director, Lisa Adams. Her last day in the office will be tomorrow. And I would ask for the court's approval to be able to promote Candace to the leadership position as Assistant Director effective Monday, December 21st.
I think we've had a motion and second, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Let me tell you that first I want to say thank you to Lisa again. I know we had a Parks Board meeting where we all told her goodbye. She's done an excellent job while she was here. As she said, she's been in Parks and Recreation for a long, long time. Candace, it pleases me that we have good people who have grown up in the system and trained through our system, and we're able to promote from within the system. Always, we should be promoting from within the system if we can. So, commissioners, do you have any comments?
I just echo what you say. We're glad that she signed up for the job.
Yeah. So you'll be talking to Commissioner Wathen a lot since he's liaison to the parks. You just waited too long. You know, Jim Lambert was easy compared to Wathen. Okay, there being no other comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Ross.
H.
Candace, welcome.
Advertise for an administrative assistant in the Department of Parks and Recreation if not filled internally.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second. An administrative assistant is to replace or to take the place of Candace as she moves up the ladder. There is no increase in the number of employees in the parks system. Any question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
I promote Jared Heath Huff to mechanic in the Department of Public Works effective December 21, 2015.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Is this your recommendation, Mr. Engineer?
It is.
Okay. Again, it's nice to take someone from within the system and be able to watch them grow in their job and move up the career ladder. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Item 3, consideration for appointment. A, Bill Glenn to the OMPC Board of Appeals, term 12/31/15 to 12/31/19.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, I know Mr. Glenn personally. I've worked with him many years. He has a good knowledge of codes and requirements that he will need or stand him in good stead on the Board of Appeals. He is taking the place of Susan Free, who asked not to be reappointed. Any question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
B, Larry Boswell to the OMPC Board, term 12/31/15 to 12/31/18.
Move to approve.
I have a motion second. Again, Commissioners, Mr. Boswell has served part of a term, has done an excellent job on the OMPC Board. As a matter of fact, I believe Mr. Boswell now serves as the the second in command on that board, vice chair. So, Larry, if you're watching, I really appreciate what you have done in representing the citizens of our county. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
C, Commissioner Charlie Castlin to the Chamber Board, term 12/31/15 to 12/31/16.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, first of all, Charlie, I assume you're going to recuse yourself from the vote.
I will.
Commissioner Wathen has served 4 terms, 5 terms. It came to our attention that he probably was serving more terms than he ought to. So we need Commissioner Wathen to set off of that board. George, I want to tell you, you've done an excellent job in my opinion. I want to thank you for representing Daviess County at Fiscal Court. Charlie, known you for a long time. I know that you will do an equally good job. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And opposed? Charlie recused himself. Next item.
D, John Wright and Carlos Earhart to the Extension District Board, term 12/31/15 to 12/31/18.
Motion approved.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, these 2 folks have been recommended to us by the Extension District Board. I'm happy to appoint them to such. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
E, George Stewart to the RWRA Board, term 1/1/16 to 1/1/2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, George Stewart has served on the RWRA Board for several terms. He currently serves, he is a county appointee, and he serves as chair of that very important board, particularly considering the fact that we have 2 package treatment plants out in the county on the west side and the east side that are about to fall apart. I want to thank him for his past service, and I know he will continue to do a good job. Any question or comment? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
E, consideration for discussion, A, other business to be brought before the Davis County Fiscal Court, and I'm only aware of one judge, and that
Okay.
is approval to accept the retirement resignation of Assistant Fire Chief Perry Payne, effective December 31, 2015.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, this just came to our attention today. It's with great reluctance that we accept his resignation. 27 years of fighting fire is a long time, isn't it, Chief? And I think he wants to put up his, the hook and ladder truck and go do something else, so. Come on over here, and we want everybody to be able to hear you, and if he's watching, we want him to know that all the good things you're going to say.
Assistant Chief Payne and I actually went through the hiring process together. We were hired, he came to work in March of 1989 and I came in July, so we've been together our whole careers, known each other before that, and wish him well. He's done a wonderful job for not only Davis County Fire Department, he served as a volunteer on Knoxville Fire Department and was a past chief of Knoxville Fire Department. So,
okay,
wish him well.
Wish him well on behalf of the Davis County Fiscal Court and all of our citizens. I'm assuming you'll have some kind of a public ceremony for him retiring. Just let us know when that is. Commissioners, any question or comment?
Just want to thank him for his years of service as well.
Jenny, I assume we'll open this up at some point to allow the folks to percolate up the ladder. Okay. There being no other comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
B, public comments.
This is a time during our commission meeting in which we ask the public to come forward, identify yourself. You're welcome to talk on anything other than what was on the agenda. I do know that I see several folks out in the audience who are here to talk about our property maintenance code from Farm Bureau. Wally, isn't that correct? You've got several of them. So if you're with that group, I would ask that you withhold coming forward and commenting, because we will have a meeting immediately following this meeting. But anyone else, and if you want to come up and talk, I'm not telling you can't, but you'll just have to stay here a lot longer than you probably would. So anyone from the public wishing to comment, you're welcome to come forward.
Camoff, 1119 Pembroke, Apartment 4, Owensboro.
Welcome, Mr. Camoff. You've been gone too long.
Well, I have promised for 2 months, Judge, to come up here. You know that.
I know.
I think back on Earth Day or something when you spoke.
Yes.
I told you I was going to come down here and get you in front of the camera, you know, and ask you about something that's something I truly believe in, so I don't ever get tired of speaking about it. I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing me, but you know, it's something, a direction I really believe.
I never get tired of listening to you.
Well, it's a direction I truly believe in. As I was sitting out here thinking, why did I come down here, you know, is I truly believe it's a direction this community ought to go in, like many other communities have gone in. And it's something that you originally brought up, and other people that are truly concerned about the environment have commented that you wanted originally, I believe as you campaigned, or as when you first took office, maybe that's not fair to say when you campaigned, but when you first took office, you mentioned that you would like to see solar installed right here at the county courthouse. And of course I thought that was a great idea, and you told me in private, and you said you'd be more than welcome to talk about it in public, but the economics of OMU's commitment to the courthouse, and that has changed, and I would just like for the record for you to go on the record, of course, and say, you know, what opposition you have to doing, you know, a symbolic gesture of installing solar on the county courthouse. So I'll turn it over to you and let you take it over.
Okay, have a seat. I don't want you to get tired while I'm answering your question. And thank you for the question. And it wasn't when I was campaigning, the first year I campaigned, it wasn't even the first year. I think the second year we received a change in rating by OMU, which dramatically increased the cost that the courthouse paid for electricity. So we were looking at how do you curb the peak usage, because what you pay for your electricity isn't based on total usage. It's based on that peak demand, and that could occur at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on one day, but it drives what you pay for the rest of the year. So we were looking at the possibility of installing, first you would have to install some electronic monitoring equipment to know when you're going to approach that peak. We thought that we could use our gas-fired generator to knock the peak down. And we looked at perhaps the use of solar cells up on top of the roof here. And we had some people come in and look at it, and to make a long story short, first of all, the roof, we were not sure that the roof would support the weight that would be required to do that. But even more so, you know, as a local government, we receive no tax credits. We're not tax exempt. There is nothing there which drives down the cost of solar energy. You as a resident, or you as a user, a customer, a citizen, you can get a tax credit which will drive those costs down considerably. We don't get that. So being the steward of taxpayer dollars, I have to decide and make that balance. Now, I'm absolutely on board with you. I think that we should, and you've heard me say this, we should conserve every chance we get. Many of the folks out here in the audience are in agriculture, and they are conserving land and water and all of those kinds of things because they know how we have a finite amount of that asset. So but it just doesn't make sense at this time. Now, eventually, it may come down. Of course, you know that we're looking at using some kind of some of the gas out at our, I hope Don's not here. I don't want another story in the Messenger Inquirer about us using the gas out of the gas wells out at the landfill. But we are interested in doing those kinds of things. We did have a survey done of all the courthouse, the jail, the operations center, and all the buildings that we had by some people who would come in and make recommendations for what you could do to conserve energy, and through the savings, pay the bonded costs or pay off the cost. Didn't make sense here because we have been doing that along. We've replaced windows, we've replaced lights, we've replaced heating and cooling equipment. We have a relatively energy, I guess a building that doesn't use much energy at the operations center. The jail was built in 2000. So in the long term, while I am absolutely a conservationist, I believe in a lot of those things, to conserve means that I have to be concerned with tax dollars, and it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to spend a lot of money, a lot of these folks' hard-earned tax dollars, just to satisfy my desire to be a conservationist. And I would be happy. We got a long night. Yes, one more. Sure, one more. No, that's fine.
I do think you're one of the most frugal organizations that I'm aware of, to be honest with you. You really do pride yourself, and I think it's a reputation earned about being very frugal. It's just I just think it's a symbolic thing. Like we keep talking about Owensboro's on the move, and I think rightly so. And other communities, I think Mr. Fowler, the president of the Sierra Club, has talked about other communities having some large solar initiatives. Actually, relatively close. I think Tell City or something is going to have a megawatt of solar installed. So I just say my argument always is I don't really see how you project yourself as a progressive community and then not do something symbolically, put one up on the courthouse and say, this is a statement. Because you know why I really feel like these initiatives are never done. I can't prove any of that, so I won't say that at the public mic. But thank you very much.
Sure.
And I want to thank you for the record too. I know you talk about you believe in these initiatives, and I believe actually, and I hope this is appropriate, but I think you might benefit the most from any individual in this community if this community began to install solar with your company and stuff. I'm sure you would love to jump into this business as well, and it would integrate with all the other contracting work that you do very very, very well. So thank you for going on the record, and I didn't really mean to put you in the spot, but that's
No,
just kind of
hey.
how I remembered it as you come in, you know, and
Did it
talking
sound
about
like
this.
I was on the spot?
No, no, of all people,
Okay.
if
Here-
I
here's
didn't believe
what-
in this issue so much, I wouldn't even put myself
Yeah,
in front of
there
you
you go,
because
sure.
I know your knowledge. You're the mayor. Believe it or not, I think the mayor is very knowledgeable about things in this community,
Okay,
city
you've said
government, and yours as
enough.
well. Thank you.
And that's just tongue in cheek. Here's what I'm going to tell you. What my old granddaddy always told me: symbolism never put a biscuit on the plate in the morning. So, but thank you for those comments. Any other person want to come up and speak? Bummer. That means I got all of you folks to deal with after this thing. Okay, commissioners. Commissioner Colger.
Just wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday.
Commissioner Wathen.
You know, I've been thinking this week about this meeting and trying to think about if there's some of the things we've done this year. And I just want to mention some of the, and my memory's not very good, so I'm sure I missed some, but you know, we finished the water projects, and I think that was pretty significant for the community. We partnered with the Corps of Engineers to perform our Phase 2 Stormwater Master Plan, and we contracted with Henderson to take their solid waste, and something that I don't think gets enough mention is that we contributed to the OCTC's Technical Phase 2 Advanced Technology Building. I think that's going to have a huge impact on this community, and especially those individuals that get to go through that school. So anyway, I just wanted to mention some of those highlights, and I think we had a good year.
I agree with you on OCTC. I think that's going to impact this community long after we're gone. So, Commissioner.
Just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as I normally do, when folks are together, I just want to remind people that one of the things that we have available to everybody in this community is no, Jenny, would you take it out? Is the Smart 911 system. And it's something that can save your life if you go online and sign up for it, to where if you have a medical condition and you make a phone call to 911 and maybe you can't talk and tell the dispatcher what your problem is, they can see your 911 profile, and they may be able to give some more information to the first responders that can assist you. Also, many of us have cell phones anymore. And we call from cell phones instead of our landlines, and so the cell phones, you can put addresses in there where you normally are, your home or your workplace, to where instead of them seeing on a cell tower that your call is near a certain spot, they know that you're in this place. So I just encourage folks at the holiday season to when you're together with family, maybe suggest to your family members to sign up for it.
Okay, I just want to take the opportunity to echo what everyone said. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a safe year. A lot of times we get out and we get to not thinking about what we're doing. Let your families remind your families too that be safe. And some of us will not have family members here that we had last year, so just kind of take that into consideration when you see somebody that's down or a little blue, and say something to cheer them up. So if there's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, without exception, we're adjourned.